Christoph, this was not one done through the club. It was Manuel Neuer's intention. I said that again. It was Manuel Neuer's intention to do this without the interference of the club. It's relevant because in Germany we have a tradition of copy approval, meaning that before you print an interview, both the club and the player or representative will go through it. And it used to be that they just corrected the mistakes, or there's a misunderstanding, they meant something and said it the other way, but it's used as an instrument to take out almost anything that resembles criticism. So you get very safe, well, not always, but most of the time you tend to get fairly safe interviews. And in this case, it was clear that Manuel Neuer wanted to speak his mind more freely. And that's why that's why Philip and I were able to meet with him privately, almost, as it were, and wrote the story. And as you said, it was a bit of a secret mission. Nobody was supposed to know about this. We traveled to the area near where he lives in Lake Tegernsee, very beautiful, and yeah, and hoped that nobody would find out, and also hope that there wasn't too much drama, really, because I think you want to, at least I don't want to create problems for people that I interview. I feel that there's almost a duty of care that you have towards them. But it was clear that in this case, Manuel Neuer had some very specific messages, and he wanted somebody to broadcast them to the rest of the world, and you're just the messenger, really. You're the vessel, and yeah, that's it, really.
Manuel Neuer had two key messages. One was telling the story about his skiing accident, and he started with the World Cup, being utterly frustrated by how things went in Qatar. That he felt alone, and a lot of players felt alone in the situation with the armband. We have discussed about it extensively, and after returning from the World Cup, after Germany went out, he wanted to get rid of these bad feelings, and as a sportsman, he found out that the best way was to actually do sports, and in his case to run a lot. And then he thought, yes, maybe a ski tour would be great. And he was saying that he had done this ski tour very often. He was calling, like, it's like going to the baker for him, like an easy stroll. And then he got the accidents. That was I think the first thing he wanted to tell. So to give a bit of background about this injury, because a lot of people were asking, why on earth is he going on a skiing tour and so on. But more importantly, or not, maybe not more importantly, but more controversial, I would say, is that how he felt about the dismissal of Toni Tapalovic, the Bayern goalkeeper, because he was saying that Tapalovic being sacked was like, he felt like as if his heart was torn out. How was he when he talked about it? It sounded very dramatic and very intense, but how was it when you were sitting together?
Yeah, it was very intense. We spent 2.5 hours with him, not all of it on the record, of course. And he said some things that I first couldn't believe, because you never seen Manuel Neuer talking about his feelings and about being hurt, because Manuel Neuer is always about projecting strength. No one can hurt me. I always come back. I'm the number one. And this was a insight into a vulnerability. And I think this whole interview comes from a place of, I am on the ground here. I am down, and you, in the case of Bayern, you don't help me, because I'm already just on one leg, and now you take away my second leg, which is really the guy that helps me so much, that has made me the keeper I am, and who also would have helped me coming back. Now I have to do without him. So there was a genuine pain that you could hear. And that's why I didn't leave this interview thinking, oh, he's really having a go at Bayern, you know, he's going on the attack. He wants to, you know, cause problems, or this is, you know, like Cristiano Ronaldo situation, trying to get out of the club by attacking everyone. It didn't feel like that at all. And if you read the interview without the headlines that has sometimes been spun as an attack, or, you know, Neuer is going for it, it actually is just somebody saying, this is really, really painful what's happened to me, and I don't understand why this has happened to me. And I think the chronology is interesting because in his mind, this has just been one long chain of really unfortunate events that led to each other. So without the World Cup going as badly as it did, for the reasons you mentioned, but also sporting reasons, he wouldn't be sitting at home going crazy effectively and then going on a ski run 2 days later after having run 20 kilometers. Without that, he wouldn't break his leg. Without breaking his leg, Bayern wouldn't fire Toni Tapalovic. That's his thinking. So one thing came to, or led to the next, and it all ended up at a very bad place. And of course he feels sad and disappointed and a little bit guilty about getting injured, but he feels what happened afterwards is undeserved. And I think there was a third reason, Christoph, that the interview was given, is also to protect Toni Tapalovic and to say these rumors about him being disruptive and being somebody who leaks information, there's no foundation to that. We've worked together for 11 years under many different managers. He's never done that. He is a great coach who doesn't just coach for me. That was the general perception, but everyone and all the goalkeepers, at least all the goalkeepers who are at Bayern at the moment, because Alexander Nübel might see it differently, were very sad in his mind. And he also stressed the importance of him for the whole team, because people forget, and I also kind of forgot it, that he was actually assistant coach under Hansi Flick. So he was in a much more important position. He was doing tactical things. He had a real influence on the dressing room. And of course, under Nagelsmann, he was being demoted effectively back to goalkeeping coach only. And I'm sure that was one of the reasons why he and Nagelsmann didn't get along. But Neuer feels that this was like a stab in the back, doing this now, getting rid of Tapalovic now when he's sitting at home or doing rehab on crutches.